Alright, welcome back. I got some new music. I got tired of the old music. But yeah, we're back. Um, like usual, there's gonna be a strong routine. We're gonna do some job seeking. And when we did some job seeking, we're gonna do some React, and then we're gonna repeat the challenges, and then we're gonna work on maybe project research, maybe designing. We'll see. Alright, let's start. Let's see what happened. What the hell is this? What the hell is this? There's no nothing. There's a new one. I see. Oh, never mind. 5 years of experience in Vue.js or Next.js, TypeScript. How are you doing, Sepam? Was a little bit later. I had to do something off screen, but yeah, we're here. How's the laptop doing? Um, it's weekend, so I'm not expecting any new jobs, but I wanna keep it as a habit to just look. Gonna look for like maybe 10 minutes or something, and then we'll see. Gonna create a. It's too far though. Well, let's check what is this. Okay. A lot of how do you call it? Recruiters. It's alive, yeah. Hopefully you can find some money or some gig, right? To get a laptop, to be honest. I hate to say it to break it down to you, but if you can do freelance to earn your laptop, that would be awesome, right? But I understand that is not a possibility, maybe. Also, um, since you're still alive, the grades were okay, I guess, because you had your grades coming up, right? 4 years of experience with Python and web development, so it's in a full stack. It's with CRM. India got not a lot of jobs on data. It's very limited. Okay, but do you know how to make a WordPress website, for example? Like it's just a very stupid question, but it's, there might be some people that need a cheap WordPress website, right? You can do it on the side, and maybe you can earn your laptop, right? I'm just thinking about stuff. Maybe you're not interested in that, but you know, it says no vacancies. Maybe I should refresh. Okay, okay. Um, okay, that's not a lot, but it's weekend, right? I'm not judging. Hmm. And also, I have this on. I should not have this on, to be honest. That will open up some vacancies, right? We had this yesterday, so there's like 2 new jobs. Okay, let's do jQuery again. jQuery. Oh yeah, we had that yesterday as well. Great. How about I actually did some new music. Do you like this music? I figured I should switch it up for now. PHP, 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 Senior, Meteor, PHP. WordPress is also PHP. Everything is PHP here. We're looking for a PHP programmer. Guy, I don't think there's anything. Let's do the country. Let's see what we have. And let's look on date. Just check them out, whole country. What is this? Takeaway? What is I do have this. Proven ability to troubleshoot and debug front-end issue, delivering clean, well-documented, and maintainable code. Experience with testing frameworks like Jest and Playwright is a plus. But it's all the way on the other side of the country. I'm just checking, right? This is just my whole country. I'm just checking if I missed something. Maybe something is closer than I expected. I'm gonna check 3 pages. Does my keyword work? Okay. Yes, I see. Wow, very far. Should wear my blue light filter. My eyes started to hurt. Not sure why. Maybe because I'm a bit tired. So yeah. Alright. Way better. Okay, one more page and then call it a day for the job seeking. There's nothing new, which is expected, so, but you never know, right? Very far. What is this? Oh, it's a full stack? Wait, I will give you the English translation. I'm sorry about that. It says, developing, optimizing web application in nextjs, React server components, socket IO, and TypeScript. Building a communication layer backend for frontend that uses WebSocket to connect sensors and machine to the frontend. That's pretty advanced stuff. Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the web dev. Experience with business critical software is a plus. Hey bro, how are you doing? We're looking for a vacancy in the weekend. Usually that doesn't work out, but yeah, and we're gonna do some React practice soon. Are you in for that? Ah, good to hear it, bro. I assume you have experience. Are you a React developer or a lot of recruiters? Okay, it doesn't seem anything new. All right. Well, we checked that. Let's see what we need to do. Um, we said we have to do this on the 8th, but we haven't done a board controller yesterday. So let's actually do that. If you don't know what a board controller is, I'm going to show you. So in React, they love this thing that is called a board controller. Why? I have no fucking clue. Right? A board controller. A board controller interface represents a controller object allows you on board one or more web requests as and when desired. Now, I am not necessarily a fan of this. Um, the, the reason why I'm doing this because interviewers might ask this, and I will tell you the reason why I'm not a fan of this because it actually aborts immediately and it aborts everything. And it says abort one or more web requests, but if you make one web request, it aborts everything, and that is annoying. Are you gonna do Power BI? Oh, that's some beast programming. Or that's crazy. Do you need to do that on for your bachelor or so basically how does it work? Well, you make a new controller and you say signal is controlled at signal. So this gives the signal to the fetch that you're making. You probably already know this, but then you say just error message, right? And when you continue, you can in React you actually have to stop the abortion like this, right? Well, you'll see. You'll see. Let's actually implement some stuff. Okay, so let's make a new file. Let's go here. Oh, they have a new icon. Cool. I don't like this icon though. Let me see. Abort. Uh, capital letter. We're using TypeScript, so let's do that. RAFCE. And then we're moving this line. This line entirely. Alright. Save. Then we're gonna go to the app and we're gonna do abort. Also, let's do abort here. We have lazy loading on just because of practice purposes. Um, Oh, that does. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what I'm doing wrong. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, great. Gonna go to the board. I'm gonna start. So, AM creation. Do you already know how it works? The abortion controller? Um, oh, let me actually go deeper why I'm practicing over and over again. Because I don't want to have an interview where I have to think about stuff. This should be, I should come across as already a meteor, but I am, for professional experience, a junior, but I'm actually meteor level when it comes to projects. But yeah, obviously you need to showcase that, right? It's one thing to believe and one thing to do. So let's set a timer. We don't want to do too long. I think 10 minutes is fine. Let me actually drink something before we start. Give me a second. 129. Alright, so we're gonna do, first we're gonna make the fetching. So we're gonna use a JSON placeholder for this. So JSON placeholder. Right. Let's do the to do one. Okay, we're not gonna do this method, we're gonna do it a bit different because we're using React. Alright, let's save it here. Let's start importing the use effect and the use state. So we're gonna React import React um, import React which one is it? Let me see where it is. I forgot the component. IMRSE. Okay, awesome. So that's first. Let's make a use state. It's gonna call data so we can store data. Okay, set data is use state. Not use effect, use state. And I'm gonna start with and let me think. The JSON probably is an array of objects, so we're gonna do an array of objects. Okay, array. So if I never used. What's this? Oh yeah, I forgot. It needs to be in a component. Alright, so that's what we have. Now, we're gonna do a use effect. We're gonna use effect snippet. Okay. So let's do this. And let's start with the controller. So const controller is new abort controller. Okay. Then we're gonna say const signal is controller.signal. So this is how you would identify the abort controller. But now startups are just too much picky about data visualizations. Really? Now I know Power BI is a Microsoft program, but is it for visualization? I thought it just was for data analysis. And I think Power BI you can also use for accountancy. I saw someone using that, so somewhere on YouTube. Alright, so we're gonna make a anonymous function. It's called fetch data. Okay. Anonymous functions fetch data, and we're gonna say const response is fetch, and obviously we're gonna fetch the link. Awesome. Okay, now we're not gonna do about controllers yet, so we're gonna move that out. So we have that fetched. Um, the next thing what I want to do is actually call invoke it. So it's called. The second thing what I want to do is think const data. So we already have a data attribute here, but I'm not. No, it's not the same data. I think, but we'll see. As res.json. Okay, and then we can set data to data. I don't think this is a good idea. Let me see. Property JSON does not exist on the type. Let me see why. Um, we'll think about it later. Don't worry about it too much. Also, I want to say, let's do just JSON and then use JSON here. Okay. Now, we have to use effect, just a simple use effect here. And what I want to do here is to map, not that map, map. Let me see if it's correct here. Turn. Yeah, we can do that. Data.map. And then we're gonna say item, or I should actually say to do. To do. God damn it. To do ID. Actually, let's do that in extra parentheses. Item ID. We don't have to do ID, but I'm doing it um, for practice. And what we're gonna do, go make an UL. We actually have to put the UL on top. So let's do that. And below. And then we're gonna say li, where the ID is, where the key, which is a special property in React, is an ID. And we're gonna say item.title. I'm gonna push out the title. Okay. All right. I do see here a little bit of a problem here. I think we need to put that inside because we are using multiple stuff. Why did I do that? Okay. Let me see. Oh, I shouldn't go here. We'll have a problem if we go here. So let's see what's going on here. Data map item ID. Oh, if I use that, then I need to return. So let's use this one. I think this would solve it. Let me see. It says title does not exist on type never. Well, then I have to. We are using TypeScript, but I'm not gonna worry about it now. Property JSON. Oh yeah, of course. Because we are fetching, we have to say async, and let's do await, and also await here. Okay. So yeah, let's see. It's for visualization of data, like making dashboards. It's more suitable for business analytics, but I don't know why startups uses it. Probably because it's cool. It's a thing. It's all like everyone thinks it's a the next Google startup. It's everywhere in the world. It's like a plague. They need to stop that behavior. All right, let's see if we get some errors. Let's run the code. Let's do it on a new desktop. Let's go to localhost. See if we get something on the screen. All right, we got something on the screen. Great. We got some titles, right? Great. So that's the first thing. Now let's attach. Uh, Let me see. I think something like this. Because I invoke signal here, and I think I need to do a comma. Wait, let's do the return first before I am going to. Well, if I'm going to do that, I also need a loading state maybe, and an error state. Then I need to put this in a try catch one. But if I put it in a function, let me think. Should I use try catch with a function? Or should I do it inside the function? I think inside is better, but who knows? Let's make it try catch. Try catch. Should I use a try catch? Let me think about it. I think it's better if you say no. We can do try catch. I think. Okay. So we're not gonna do them finally. So we have this done. We have to put a signal here. We'll put the signal later. You're gonna say if error.name is triple equal. Oh, we hit the 10-minute line. Well, let's do a couple of minutes because we did the fetching, but we need more time to program the board, right? So is that equal to a board controller? I think that's how you do it. If error.name is of type unknown, that doesn't matter. If this is a board controller, we want to do something. What do we want to do? We want to um, stop it, right? We want to stop the um, but yeah, no, we don't want to stop. We want to throw an error. So I think console log error. We want to say error dot message maybe. We'll see. Okay. And then we can say finally. Okay. I'm gonna do it this way. Finally, we want to return. Should I return? No, I'm in the function, so let's not do in finally. It's not a, it's bad. It's bad practice, I think. I think. No, it's not. We can do finally. Mm, yeah, finally return controller dot abort. I think that's how you do it. Unsafe uses of return statement. Oh, because we need to run a function? Maybe? We're not allowed to do something else. So um, I think you need to use a function here. Let's keep it just controller.abort. Okay. Okay. And we have a type of unknown. I keep the type of unknown just as is. And also, I'm not going to do some TypeScript today. Okay. We need to do a signal. I think this is how you do it. Signal. And then you say no comma. Or should I do this? What does it say when I do this? Binding signal element. Okay, and what does this? Expecting a comma. Okay, and then it says the structure declaration must have an internalizer. Oh, don't worry about the board controller. It's very redundant. React developers love it. But it's definitely not, and I'm probably doing it wrong as well. So, but that's why we're learning, right? So basically, like I said in the web documentation, I'm actually done programming. Um, in documentation, it says new controller board. Oh, you should do it in this. Ah, I see. Okay, good that I see that. So we should do the single instead of here. Awesome. So this is the final code for me at least. Let's see if it happens. Okay, it still loads, but what if I change something in here? Okay, we don't get a, we get an error maybe in the data map is not a function. An abort. Okay, I did get an abort on a, no, this is something else. Load the server responder with the 4-hour status. Okay, it seems like my abort did not trigger because we have an error because of the fetching. So it did not trigger. But we're very close. I keep it, I will commit to this. We have 9 seconds left, so alright. Um yeah, let's see how we did. Okay, we could have done this, to be honest. Oh, I could have done this as well, right? I could have said, well, did controller dot abort is what we did, right? But maybe we should have done controller dot signal instead. So it knows that signal is the controller abort. So maybe we forgot about that. Should we do use request? I'm not sure if this is a thing. Oh yeah, let's see. Let's see what ChatGPT has to say about my code. Right? So let's go to ChatGPT. I'm just gonna do it. You're on the right track to handle fetch constellation, but there are a couple of issues. Abort controller created every render. You're creating an abort controller in every render, which defeats the purpose because it's not persistent across use effect. Calling abort immediately after fetch is being called in the finally block, which means it's aborting even when successful request. Incorrect error check. If error name should be abort error. Okay, sure. Okay, let's see. Let's read. So we have a controller, we have the signal. Okay, the signal is correct. Conjunction is correct. Sendation is correct. Catch error. Error name is abort error. So that's the first mistake we made here. And we could have console log. Oh, it's an if else. Is that correct? Okay, let's see. If error name, console log error, else. What's it? Oh, else it's gonna be a fetch error. Okay, so this is what we need to pay attention to. Um, okay, it seems that I can use the. Oh, okay. It seems that I can use the return. I was right about the return anonymous function. That we should do that. Okay, now we know that. So there were three issues. Um, you create a new work controller which proceeds first because it's not consistent across the US. So I don't know where that mistake is. It's not bad. It's close, right? So if you have more time, maybe we would have figured it out. Okay, so let's compare a bit. So he said, do this in a use effect, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is, okay, try construct is await fetch that signal, okay, const JSON vs JSON, set JSON to JSON, okay, catch error. If error name is abort error, and I said console error is log, but you can do log. It's not a big deal, right? If, and then he said else, and else that is the console error, and that is error. Oh, okay. We have a thing here because of this one. So let's put this one like that. Try expected. Okay, we're making mistakes now. Let's see. Give me a second. If, oh, okay, I see. So I need to do this. And then, okay. Then I can say else, and then put the console error here. Okay. Now then I said finally, but it seems like there's no control finally because it said I'm aborting at final request, which makes total sense. Okay. And then let's check the rest as well. But this is part with memorization. A lot of people say, "Oh, you should not remember code." Now let me tell you again. If you are in an interview and you're like, "Sir, maybe I should do this," and then someone else confidence comes in and is like, "Oh yeah, it's this and that," would it gonna hire? You need to remember code, or you need to practice a lot, or you need to do both. Memorization is part of learning code. Memorization is a learning tool. Now, you're not going to make the exact same code every time, and you're going to learn more variants of it. But that's not the purpose. The purpose is that we're doing interviews, so memorization is tool for interviewing. Like if you're on a job, then you're going to do some documentation, right? You're going to do some AI, right? It's different. It's like an exam. That's how you should see. So people that say don't remember code, put them in the middle finger. It's not true. It's very good to remember code, especially for an exam like an interview. Okay. Okay. It can be else. I did the fetch data. Okay. So now we have to return to clean up. Yeah. Okay. But then it still calls it if you return it. You're still aborting it. But it said you're creating a new abort controller every render, which defeats the purpose because it's not consistent across use effect. So I want to have more context in that. Abort controller should be scoped inside use effect and use a cleanup function. Okay, I think that's what they mean. Because they put it here. But let's see if they actually meant it. Um, what do you mean? Let me ask. Yeah, okay. This is what they mean. Like I said. Okay, and that's pretty much done. Let's see if it still works. Okay, great. So we did the render with the use effect. Awesome. So let's do more advanced. So what we're gonna do now, we should not use a use effect. I think a use state. Give me a second. Okay, let's see if it works. Okay, we have hello aboard. Awesome, it works. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna fetch with React query. So that is something else, right? So we're gonna do import from React, I think query. I'm not sure how it's called. I haven't used it for the longest time. Um, Maybe I don't even have it installed, so I have to check. Hey Andre, how are you doing? Can you share the practice sheet? Do you want it? Sure, I won't give you it. But the thing is, the ChatGPT stuff is not here, right? So if I say counter, do you know what counter means? Do you know what use effect means? Axios and React query? Do you understand the context, or do you want more? Please let me know that. How are you doing, Andre? How was your day? Um, I don't know if I have React query installed, so let's see. Okay, query maybe. Query. Oh, I do see in query here. 10 stack. Okay. I should import it differently then from the 10 stack. Okay. So let's try that. Um, is 10 stack? Does it exist? Okay. Add 10 stack React query. Okay. React query is declared but never read. Okay. It seems okay. Um, I'm not sure how this works because this is my second time, maybe the actual first time I'm coding it, but we'll see if I remember something. Const React query. Let's make a function, I think. And then we're gonna say query. Oh, we need to import these stuff. Uh, Query React query. It doesn't show. Use React query. Okay, I will have to figure that out a little bit later. Const React query. We're gonna say we need to query a function. Um, and we need a query key, I think. And a query key is just the key what you're using, which is to do. And a query function is an anonymous function, I think. Okay, that works. Let me put a comma just in case. Okay, that gives an error. Let me actually put this one on top. That makes sense. What does it say? Parsing error. Okay. Query fn. So we want to fetch. So let's do that. Fetch. I'm also should loading error data, I think. Okay. Fetch this one. I'm not sure how it works, guys. So I'm just doing it from how I think it works. Okay, I'm not sure why it's doing that. Okay. Why the hell is doing that? I don't understand. Okay, it's a weird syntax. Maybe it's bugging out. Okay. So we're fetching that. I think then. Okay, it gives me an issue though. It gives me an issue, but let's continue anyways. Like I'm doing this for like a really first time. And let's give it 5 minutes. Okay. Then what do I want to do? I don't want to do then. I don't like doing then, to be honest. Maybe I should. Mm. Yeah, don't spoil for me yet. You can spoil soon. You can spoil soon. But there's nothing going on. Something like here. Okay, this one. was- It's bugging out a lot. Um, then we want to make it a JSON, I think. So we have that. Um, do we need something else? Not really. Okay, so let's do if loading. We could say, right, like a p tag or something. Um, loading, and we could say if error. Uh, la- sorry, I don't mean it like that. And the reason why I say no spoiling because that's it give me a hard time learning, and else I should just do like um, URL and li. I just should just use like data or something like that. We'll see. This is a very bad something is wrong. I'm not sure what's wrong. Well, I know it's wrong here, but I don't know what's wrong here. Maybe because well, I was looking for something here. So React. Let me do query. Oh, do I need oh, maybe I forgot that. Let me see. Maybe I need. Oh no, the query client provider is here. Okay, so that's not the issue. Um, query. uh, I'm not sure if I should use this. Maybe I can just say use query here. Maybe that will fix the error. This is my final answer. Do you learn now through code? What do you mean, Ayush? Okay, let me answer your question because I think my timer is done. We're gonna review it soon. Um, so you want this sheet as in practice, but my question is, are you gonna understand this? Are you gonna understand what the bound search name, local storage dark mode, use context, to-do list, model click anywhere? Like, are you gonna understand these context? Okay. And you want me to send a sheet? I have to think about how I can send a sheet. Give me a second. Let's finish the programming here. Let's learn first. Then I will send you the sheet and we move on to the next next pro grammar challenge. Okay, so this is my answer. It's clearly wrong, but that doesn't matter. We are on a learning stage. We're not in an interview, so lucky me. Um, let's see what ChatGPT has to say. It's gonna roast me. Okay. Looks like you're trying to use React Create to fetch data from the API, but there are several syntax and logic issues in the code. Here's the correct working version. Let's first read what it said. React Create component remove. You don't need to define a component inside another. Just use query. Okay. Ah, okay. It's destructuring and then use query. Okay. Give me a second. Okay, that's a lot of code to be honest, but let's do let's look at it again. Okay, const. But we did that part not too bad, right? But it's destructuring. Let me see. Okay, these ones. Okay, is loading is error, but if you're using is loading is error, I assume this is from the use query. I see. Okay, yeah. Okay. Um, I see. And then use query, and then also open like this then, and then maybe we can use these. Let's see. Okay, query key. Okay, we weren't too bad, but it's not with capital letter. So query key to do's. Okay, we weren't far off. Query function. Okay, it's just camel casing. Um, and it's doing fetch to do's. Okay, so it is using a function to fetch. Okay, but we can just drop that. We can just drop that in here. It's an anonymous function. Yeah, we can drop that. We can drop it in here. Let me see. This one, where is this going? Return. Desai, I think you are right. I think these data loading is error is from the use query, but I have to go to the documentation soon. So give me a second. What are some of the prerequisites to get into React? I got you, bro. I'll show you. Yeah. We go on YouTube. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Give me a second, Andre. Give me a second. You go on YouTube and you say, before you learn React, I saw a video the other day. Um, oh, all the JavaScript you need to know for React. So this video is pretty good. It talks about spread operators. It talks about the structuring. These are things that you're going to use a lot. It's talk about conditionals, short circuits, those kinds of stuff. So look up this video, all the JavaScript you need to know for React. It will explain everything. Does that answer your question, IQ616? Let me see. I missed some. Yeah, sure, bro. What are some prerequisites you should know JavaScript? Yeah. Hey, bro. Like, if you need help with that, see it actual practical stuff, you can come back to the stream. I use this a lot. Wow, that's not how I learned JavaScript in those days. No. But this video is pretty good if you already know some basic JavaScript and you need to like remind yourself like, hey, this is the JavaScript we use a lot, right? So it's very good. All right, let's get back into where we were. So you said delete line 19. Okay, great. Let's see what's going on here. We're missing an async here. I think you could put it here. Okay, so terminal errors, not. Okay, then we can remove this line, and we have to say is loading is error. And we have a data here, but we don't use state here, so we can remove that line, obviously, because it's kind of a global state handling going on here. Um, okay, it does seems that we have to use a array of map, but let's read what it said. You use query key and query function incorrectly. The correct are the camel cases. Okay. This is incorrect. Condition running. If loading, loading. No, I did that. I did that correct. Oh, return maybe? Obviously we need to return. Yeah, of course. Um, return. Right? Because it's one line, we don't need parentheses. Okay. Um, data JSON change to response to JSON. Okay, let's see what happens here. Const response. If response is not okay, response JSON. Okay, sure. Yeah. Set data was in use. Remove the use state. Okay. Um, let's see the operational documentation after this. Yeah, sure. And it does say that we have to. I thought you didn't, but I think I'm confusing it with Redux, where you don't have to use a mapping function. Okay, we have a to do here. But if we're not using to do, where's the to do? That doesn't make any sense, right? Let me think. Um, yeah, I see what's wrong here. I think I know what's wrong here. This is all good, but I think we do need to use a. You say just an element of data. Okay, so you are saying that we have to do just data. So you're saying that we should data the title, right? That's what you're saying, and we don't have to do this. Let's see. We get one. We do have to map. Okay. But if that's the case, we do need to use state. I think. Um, okay, the endpoint returns an array of objects. So we do need to map then. Let me let me think about it. Okay, give me a second, guys. Um, data data.map um, data.map item. Okay. Mm, well, if we were using this, we need to use return. So let's do the parentheses. Okay. Okay, what does this say here? Item is defined but never used. Well, if that is the case, then we should use this. Or we should no argument. I think it requires an argument. Yeah, it does require an argument. It does render something. Right? It does render something. So, but we're not rendering the right thing. So let's go to the console and let's empty it out. Let's refresh for one time. A unique key prop. I'm just trying something. Let me figure it out. Okay. Uh, okay, so that fixes an issue, but we have a problem here, and the problem is we need to know the data. Um, let's do console log data. Console log data response. Oh, that of course because we're using return. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Don't worry about this, guys. You do need to learn it eventually. Okay, JSON. Uh, as a status URL. Okay. Okay. I'm checking where the okay, readable stream, course, reactive fails, bytes, clones, one data. Hmm. Okay. I'll let it go. Body line on the top. Oh, okay. Oh, it is here. You see? Let me see. I hate this stuff. Anyways, we do get a response. So let's see. Let's see what's going on. What I'm doing wrong. Uh, I think I know what I'm doing wrong. I think this error is just an any type because I'm using TypeScript and then we render it out. Okay, problem solved. Problem solved. You can consult data in a component body when it's defined. It should be defined when I use React query, to be honest. The reason why I'm saying this, I think that is one of the perks of I should say data somewhere, but I don't see it. That's okay. I'm not gonna do too much right now. This is just the beginning of React query. So let's redefine what the mistakes will be made. So the mistakes that we made is we had to reuse React query here, right? Use query. Um, obviously async, right? And then we should say destructure use query, query key with camel case. And we should say is loading, is error. Those were the problems. You're trying to console log it inside queryfn. Inside queryfn, it won't work. So you're basically saying this. I see. Sure. Okay. No worries. Thanks, bro. All right. I think that was a pretty good response because after queryfn, a lot of stuff happened inside the query hook. Yeah. Yeah. Like this is just the beginning for me. Like using it, but now I know. Okay. I'm gonna zoom in a bit in. We're gonna do the next one. So I think we did okay-ish, right? And we did React query for the first time. So we're gonna put it one here. I'm gonna say these ones. I'm gonna extend it here. Give me a second, Ayush. I will send it to you soon. Give me a second. 5. Okay. So the mistake was how would we define a mistake? Um, Restudy. I'm just gonna say restudy. Okay. So we are going to repeat it. They're gonna say yes, and the attempt date is gonna be on the 9th of May because I'm going on holiday soon. All right. So we did that. Okay. So there are a couple of um, what I did. I went to the job seeking, and basically what jobs told me to do. Well, jobs told me to do like there's a difference, right? You can say, oh, um, I let I let jobs define what I learn, right? Like, and that is usually the most top one is Redux. I think this is outdated shit, right? Outdated shit, but um, supports other frameworks, right? Supports other frameworks. And you know this, Andre. Then you have Sustent, likable if small, hate if big, big project, right? Then you have Yotai, which is classes in JS. Let's not do that. Um, well, when I say outdated shit, I don't mean it's outdated. I mean, um, it came a long way and it's standardized, but to learn all this stuff is very redundant. I think that will be in great definition. Iota classes, yes, and others. So I'm thinking to do Sustent, but I might do this one. I might do this one until I get a job and then move on to Sustent. So we'll see. Okay, I'm gonna send this thing to Ayush. Are you here, Ayush? Are you still here? Let me drink something before you respond. Yes, boilerplate code. Well, what I don't like about Redux is when you have like a DOM, right? The DOM tree or the virtual DOM tree, whatever you want to name it right now. Like, you have the DOM tree, right? DOM tree, right? And this one has another two, like the DOM tree. Then what, like according to what I've read, So basically what it does, it wraps all these things in a provider, right? Like, so you get like a provider. So app in provider. And I'm fine with that when it comes to routing or a certain context. But it decouples everything here. And then you have like a store, right? And to the store you can go back, right? You can go this else. I'm not I am not a fan of decoupling. But that's personal preference. I like to have everything in a flow that can communicate with each other, not with a separate state manager like that. Now, most global state managers do this. And I'm not sure if React Query is also a state manager. So, also Reddit Toolkit is nice. I think Reddit Toolkit is for other frameworks. Is that what you mean? Like I saw you can use it with Nux, you can use it with Python, you can use it with a lot of stuff. Or is React Redux Toolkit specifically made for React? That can also be. I read something in the lines of that. But yeah, let's move on to one of the next questions. Should we though? Should we do something else actually? Should we actually learn how to use local storage? We haven't done that. I think that is very important. They might ask. Let's do that. We did some questions, so let's do local storage property. The local storage read-only property of the window interface allows you to access a storage object for the document's origin. The stored data is saved across browser sessions. Browser sessions, what does that mean? Okay, local storage is similar to session storage, except that while local storage data has no expiration time, session storage data gets cleared when a page session ends. Yes, I know this, right? So this means that local storage gets saved. That is when the page is closed. Local storage data for document loaded in a private browser or incognito session is cleared when the last private tab is closed. Yes, I think that's the difference. You have cookie, session, and local is persistent. But here, what I don't understand what they say is across browser sessions. But a session is just a tab, right? This could be a session. But when you have multiple tabs, then you probably have a cookie session. That's how I learned it. Now, this might not be entirely true, right? But let's continue. A storage object can be used to access the current or just local storage space. Okay, so that basically means that the browser has a local storage space. Let's try to find it. Okay, okay, local storage. Great. Now, for the people that don't know what that means, I will explain. So the inspect element, let me see, more tools. Is it here somewhere? Can I also even find it? Guess read that name the developer tools. It's called here. Inspect elements. Control Shift I gives you a lot of control or view or information about your browser, but also the current page where you're in. So you can see like how the structure is of the website. You have a console where you even can do some scripting. You have sources. I think sources is mainly used for debugging. Network tab. So if I refresh the tab, you actually see the networks coming in. So you see the speed of everything coming in. You have performance. Well, this is another topic for another day. I'm not going to explain that. The memory, I never use it, so I'm not clearly sure what it is. But it seems like for how you manage memory in your DOM. The applications are the things that are used mainly for the front end, such as cookies, your own local database, and of course local storage, session storage, and other stuff. You have media. Oh, also, before I forget, in the top frames, you also can find the files used in this current page where you are. So if you're ever looking for fonts, images, or maybe even certain JavaScript styles, you can find those here. Well, this JavaScript is not necessarily the JavaScript what you're expecting. It's probably converted from some kind of framework and other things, whatever. Right, favicon, for example. Media, I'm not sure. It's probably for playing stuff. CSS overflow, never used this. I think this is an edge specifics. Animations, you can see certain animations, play certain animations, maybe edit animations. This one is interesting. This one is only Edge browser, so you can actually see if there's a current set index. So set index basically means how um, a certain part of your page is up front or behind a current layer, and you can actually see in 3D style what it actually is. So that's pretty cool. Lighthouse has to do with the other stuff where we talked about with the performance. I'm not going to talk about specifically. So now you have some crash course about developer tools, right? So now you know. Make sure to subscribe if you want to know more information. Okay. Um, so yeah, local storage, and we can store some things here. So that means the next time when we start something, it will be here. It seems that is object oriented. I usually don't do that, so I'm a bit hesitant. But let's see. A storage object can be used. Okay, so it is an object can be used to access the current original local storage space. So um, let's make a new file. It's called main.js. Sure. Create it. Right. Exception. Security error. Throw in one of the following cases. The origin is not a valid scheme host port tuple. This can happen when the origin file uses file data schemes, for example. File is a policy decision. For example, the user configured the browser to prevent the page from processing data. Okay, note that if the user blocks cookies, browsers will probably interpret that as an instruction to prevent the page from persisting data. Okay, so when you ever blocked cookies, certain things are not saved. Also, fun fact, if you restore the tab in the browser, session storage will be restored as well. So it's not cleared actually. But that is only if and only if the session storage is not expired, right? So you put a certain date on it. Is that what you mean? The keys and values stored in the local storage are always in UTF-16 string format. Okay, which is 2 bytes. As when object integers, keys are automatically converted to strings. Okay, good to know. Because that is an exception. Um, Local storage data is specific to the protocol of the document. In particular, for site loaded over HTTP, sample.com local storage returns a different object than a local storage for the corresponding site loaded over HTTPS. Oh, okay. Why? particular for sideloaded. Okay, well, I can unfortunately not test that at the moment, but there are two different objects, probably because it will give me some security objects, invoked object as well. For document loaded from file, URLs, well, we're not going to do file, right? But URLs, that is open in browser, directly from user local file system rather than being served from a web server. The requirements for local storage provided are undefined and may vary among different browsers. Okay, we should not touch this. that's that's pretty clear. So for the people that seeing that I'm reading documentation, yes, you do need to read documentation. Documentation is one of the best way of learning instead of doing tutorials. But I'm not sure if Andre agrees with this. If you're a beginner, do some tutorials, then dive into the documentation when you are, confident. Get some project, uh, get your hands a bit dirty, right, with projects, and then try to learn more things. All right. Did I read this? No. In our current process, local storage seems to return a different object for each file. Since I've Okay, each file has a unique local storage, but there are no guarantees about the behavior, so you shouldn't rely on it because I mentioned above, the requirements for users remains undefined. Yeah, okay. So forget about this. At any time, some browsers have changed their handling for it over time. Okay. I don't know. I read docs all the time. Well, you need for your job, right? So if you're continuous learning, then you need it, right? The following snippet accesses the current domain local storage object and adds a data item to it using the storage set item. The syntax for reading the local storage item is as follows. Okay, so let's do that in a use effect. I think we can use it in use effect. I'm not sure. Um, so import react use effect. Okay. Use effect snippet. No dependencies. Okay. In JS, what you need to learn new things each half year at minimum. I think it's every week. Okay. First info access the current domain local storage object and adds a data item to it. Okay, set item. The syntax for reading the local storage item is as follows. The syntax for removing the local storage item is as follows. The syntax for removing all local storage items is as follows. That's it? Okay. So what I'm gonna do, this, okay, we're gonna do that, and then const cat local storage get item. Okay, and we're gonna say console log cat, right? So console log cat. I don't know, something like that. Let's refresh. Let's see. Okay, local storage. My cat, Tom. Okay, great. That's there. Oh, there's a language and a dark mode and a team. Oh yeah, because I did that. Yeah. Um. Okay. Tom is okay. Um. So how would we then attach dark mode to the, how does it, would it remember dark mode as a local storage? Let me see what we had. Do we still have it though? I'm not sure. No, we don't have it. I deleted it. But if that is the case, I do have, no, I don't have it. Okay, let's think about it for a second. Let's go to abort. So if I were to add a dark mode, what would I do? Let me think about it for a second. Okay. If I were to add a dark mode, obviously I would use context, right? Use context. With a team provider, blah 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 blah. Okay? But then we need some CSS and we need a button to switch we need a button to switch to dark mode. This is already a lot of code. And this does not necessarily mean that it is dark mode. So it's a user preference, right then? So if a user has it on dark mode, then you need to get it conditional here. But then you need to communicate with the button, right? So if dark, right? If it's dark, then communicate with local storage. I'm just writing it down. I'm just writing my thoughts. But how would you communicate such a thing? Well, then you need to communicate with the use state, because then you will have an active data, right? You have an active data, and if the data responds to dark, then you're gonna update local storage. But I don't think it works that way, because we don't have something with update, right? We have set, get, remove, clear. So that means if we have set an item, that that has to be the data of a use state that we have set to dark. So it changed dynamically then. I think that's how you do it. So you get a use state. Let me remove that. So let me write in more code. So let's assume we have dark mode set up, right? We have dark mode set up and we have a button, right? We have a button and we have a use state. Use state. And the button says like if, if dark, light, else dark, right? Just a simple conditional, right? But this dark and light needs to be connected with the data, right? So there's a connection between the data and the keyword of the team, right? Like and dark, they are connected. So when you have set item of local storage, set item, um, these are two arguments. So you get one argument, um, and that then will be set item that would then be the data, right? And this then changes. That's how I would do it. Now I don't feel like doing all kind of dark mode and setting up use context, to be honest. I haven't done it for the longest time, but yeah, let's start. Um, import React context. Let me see. Let me see where we have context. We have memo. It seems like it doesn't exist. Maybe IR. Import React component prop types. No, it does. It seems like it doesn't exist. Okay, no worries. Uh, Let me see. So we need to use state. We need to use context. It does exist, yeah, probably. I probably did. Let me see. Context. We have more context. Create context, I think. Wow, I haven't used it for the longest time. Let me think. React. Okay, and let's define a. Let's actually put that here as well. Okay. Okay. Remove this one. We're gonna say const data. Do you think I'm on the right path, Andre? Because you probably do this more often. So set data. I think I'm on the right track though. Use state, and I think it's going to be a string. So we'll define it later. Okay, we have data. Then we set. Do we need to set a provider? Do we have a context provider here? We don't have a context provider here, so we need to wrap. Um, we need to wrap. Well, where are we going to wrap it? Probably here. Use context. Let me see. Provider. What provider? Query static provider. God damn it. I'm gonna make a context for dark mode, and when I set an item, I want to use the data attributes, so it automatically gets updated when something is. Oh, you need two stuff. Okay, now, well, if you need two, and this is set item, expected two arguments of one. Oh fuck. Oh, then I need to do team then. Team data, but we don't have team yet. Anaxa, how are you doing? We are trying to make a team provider with local storage. Never done it before. I'm not sure if this even is correct. Well, how else you gonna store them then, right? You need a certain context, right? Because you're using React. Or do you only need local storage? Great, I'm doing great. Because what I want to do is like make a use state with the data. I don't want to do that in the app right now, to be honest. To make the context here, context provider. I don't feel like that. You are on the right track. Yes. That's okay. I've never used well, once I've used create context. I usually don't make dark modes. I will tell you why I don't make dark and light teams. Because in a lot of cases, I don't see the use case of it. When you want to sell something, I don't see why you ever would use dark mode. So that's always light team. Dark team, I would use it for like news articles, blogs, and those kinds of stuff, but I never make those things. Odd stuff need context. Yeah, we're just trying to make a team. I give up on this one. I think it's too advanced for me at the moment. Need context API. Yeah, we're not doing authentication and also not even local authentication. So yeah, but the thing is, I don't think I know context enough because if you see here, we actually need to learn use context again. It's been ages since I used it, so that won't work. Hmm. Uh, I think we need to set. Let me see. Think you need to invoke that? Is that not possible? Expected one argument, got zero. Ah, it's here. Oh, okay. Okay, I see. And then we're gonna say like, um, let me do camel case context. Let's do team, and then we need a wrapper, right? Let me team context wrapper. But if we do this, then we need to also say what it actually is. What is team, right? Haven't done that. So let's set this first. We might need what does it say? God damn it. Uh, I think we need to use fragments. I'm not sure. Okay, that still gives me. Okay, but we want to make this like team. The value is team, but we haven't defined team yet. Mm, let me see what you said. Just think about the steps. You create context and provide it to the app, then use context in a component. Yes, but you used this before. Right? I need to read like create context. Okay, I need to use context. Use context. Let me see how it's used. Use context. Okay, we can then say team, and then we can say like use context dark. Can that be? Argument type of string is not assignable to a type of context. Okay, so you cannot use string here. Okay. Oh, invoke? Expected one argument, got 0. You read the value. Ah, you read this. This is what you mean? But why does it want an argument then? Maybe I am at the wrong place. Hmm. Okay, team data. Okay. Uh, Maybe because of this, it's erroring out. But I will leave it as is. Let's create a button. Let's create a button, and we're gonna say on click. We're gonna fire and function. No, we have to do. We have to value team. Uh, no, I'm forgetting something. I'm forgetting something. Let me see what I'm forgetting. Let me go to create context. Okay, I understand. Is that a problem? Is that a problem? Well, I want to read the team, right? And when I click something, I want to say fire function, and I want to say if team is identical to dark, then I want to say light. Else, when I have dark, right? So we have that. So we make it more dynamic. Toggle dark toggle mode team. Interfire data has already been declared. Oh, okay. I'm just doing something. Okay. Does it error out still? Yes. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay. Let's read. Let's see if I can figure it out. It's expecting one argument, but maybe it's because of um we keep it at that. Like what? Okay, so what argument? I'm just gonna put it here. What argument is expecting? Okay, but I wanna tie it to the data. That doesn't make any sense what I'm doing here. What am I doing here? Okay. Um, on click, if the theme is dark, light, else dark. Okay. Theme content is value theme. Okay. But if I'm doing that, then I need something to change, right? So we can say class name here, and the class name, let's actually make this optional. We're gonna say like team, something like that. So um, it will affect the text maybe. So we did that. I think that makes sense. So I'm doubting about what am I doing here? What argument? Okay, create context theme. Does that make any sense? Theme context is create context light. And I have theme, so I put the value of theme here as well. That's what I did. And that does make sense. Okay. Use context has an error. Accept a context object returned from React create content and returns the current context value as given by the native context providers for the given context. But that would be theme. I'm not sure if I have to do it like this. No. But that doesn't make any sense. God damn it. Okay. Let's read it again. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Well, I'm doing something wrong. That's clear. But let's see how they define it. Team context. Do you need to use context? That's my question now. Yes, I think you do need to do that. And you need to invoke it, but I still expect no argument. Okay, so the problems are here, and probably there's also a problem here. Um, what I'm gonna do, I think this is a good case for reading the documentation. Okay. Um, oh, oh, really? No, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, then you need to reverse that. Wait a minute. Oh, that gives me a headache. Ah, const team is use context. Give me a second, Andre. Let me give me. If I get stuck, I'm gonna read what you said. Okay. Deconst provider is value dark. Const team is use context team context. Okay. Okay. I should keep this. So this is good. Then let me see. Okay. Okay. This is the exact same, but I'm just doing it for the copying sake. Okay, and here it says value dark, but I want to give it a value of team, but that doesn't make any sense because then I need to say like some, right, as a keyword. What's going on here? Block scoped variable used before its declaration. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so we have something here and we have some. But if we are using team context sum here, then we also have to do it here, here, and here, I think. Okay, some errors disappeared. We're not using the set sum. Should I be worried about that? I'm not sure. Also, we have a dependency here, which is data and team because of these ones. But I don't have data anymore. I have some. So these are dependencies. Okay. I'm not sure if this is correct, but I'm just doing it to get no errors. We'll think about the logic a little bit later. Okay. So we want to see if this li changes from light to dark or dark to light when we click on this. So that is um, what we want to see. Okay. It's probably not going to work, but it doesn't matter. I just want to see it happening with the class. Okay, the class is empty. That's never good. So we need to assign some to set some to dark somewhere in the application. Um, but where are we going to define this? That is the question then. If we do it here, we will have a problem because then it will always be that. But after this, wouldn't be, let me remove these ones. So we can do it after here. We can say it's like set some, and then we can say set a function, and we can say is um, I'm not sure if you do it like this, but sum is equal to dark. We need to set it somewhere, right? In a use effect, I don't think that's a good idea. It could be after the use effect, so we could say we could set it here, right? Before the to-dos begin. And you will get an infinite loop, yes, because of the use effect. Yeah. Okay, let's read more. Value dark. Create context null. So you start with nothing. This is a button. Okay. Use context team context. Okay, so that is for the where is it actually? Okay, that's here. Class name, panel plus team. Class name is class name. But then you have to type class name plus team. Yeah. Okay. But I did not do that. I said just team here. So that should not be an issue, I think. Read the second line in docs after usage title. You mean this one? Updating data paths via context? Okay. Ah, I see. Of course. You're right. We can obviously do that here. Well, what was I thinking? That's what you mean, right? Click on usage. usage. And read the second line. Use context returns the context value for the context you pass. To determine the context value, React searches the component tree and finds the closest context provider above for the particular context. Yeah, that makes sense, right? So you go from up to down. And the first one that matches is what it changes. Let's see what we have. How far do we have? Do we still have dark? Okay, so it doesn't update. So we definitely have an error here. That is probably because we need to set some. I don't think that's work. I think I need to fire. No, I'm doing it right, I think. Let's see. It refreshes the entire page. That's not good. That's not good. So it's something with the use effect. Oh, okay. Because we do this. Ah, okay. Okay, I'm gonna read what you said. Just think about the text. Okay, the steps. We did that, right? This is my answer till now. I think we got pretty far. Initial values should be taken from local storage if you want to have it be safe. Okay, initial values should be taken from local storage. So you mean the initial value of EU state. Ah, uh, well, if that is true, then we should do dark. Let me read the local storage documentation again. My cat, Tom. Create contents initial value. Oh. Oh, okay. But but that that matches, right? Let me see. Where is the use context? You said me to read this, so I don't see anything wrong with this at the moment. There is something wrong with this, but I don't see it. Let me read. Use context. You read the value. Okay. Use context returns the context value for the context that you have passed. Okay, so it's reading this. So it's reading this. Const. It's context. Team context. Team use effect. Use effect. Um. And this corresponds team should then be tied to this. That's what it says, right? This context value should be placed at the value. So this means that this should be team. If I read it correctly. Let's read, continue to reading. Ah, but wait a minute. Wait a minute. But if that is true, what you said here, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Yes, I know. Yeah. Oh, oh, that's what you mean. Okay. So you're saying this. You're saying this. I thought it was possible, but probably not. So you have like a child, right? And you have like a parent, right? Parent with my good handwriting. And you say like it needs to go to the nearest child, meaning I cannot do this in the same component. I need to make a different component and then pass it on to the another one. That is what you're saying. Okay, that makes total sense what you're saying. I thought I could get away with it, but what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to use contact as use ref. I think that's that is my problem. Okay, let's read. There's probably some answer here. Okay, let's see here. Okay, there's something here. Team context, create context null. Okay, use state light, and the value is team. Okay, I'm fine to the team, but yeah, yeah, okay. I understand what you mean. I know this. You're right. I do know this, but I figured I could pass it on, but that is not. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Let me see. Satellite team use state, cons provide a team from this team. But if that is true, then we don't need to use like don't mind the code right now, but I don't think then we need to use this. We just say team context is null, and then we can say we could use state for the a dependency. Okay, but the requirement is that we need at least one component, right? We do need these components. Like this component is the context, right? Yeah, so it's using it on this component. Okay, use check. Check this theme is dark. Okay, so I created the bottom, but you can do this, right? Checked is dark, else it's light, probably. Yeah, okay. Use dark mode label, label input. Okay, and here is the function form and the function panel and the function button. Oh, okay, these are the buttons. Okay. If you only have one component, you don't need context actually. Yeah, you're right. I can remove the whole context and just set a theme and call it a day. But good. This is good. Okay, now it did it with a button, right? On click, set theme. Okay, but we did a lot of things right. So that I'm happy that we but I am not happy about this one because it sets a null. But if you set a null, then wait, give me go to the other one. Here sets a null and here sets light. Why would you set a null here? Let me see. Oh, it says here if we reconcile context in a parenty, constant return we use context will be equal to the default value that is specified when you create a contact. The default never changes. If you want to update context, as with the state as described above, often instead of null, there's some more meaningful value you can use the default. This way, if you accidentally render some component without the corresponding provider, it won't break. Okay. Yeah. I know. You can pass it on anywhere in a tree, right? Like when you have a tree here, you have a tree here, you can just go instantly without using import and those kinds of stuff. Yeah, I understand. Great. It's not a big issue. What I'm gonna do, I am not going to make it myself anymore because I'm too tired for that. ChatGPT can solve that for me. We're gonna try it next time. Instead of no, you can get the value from local storage and then create context with the right value on the first app initialization. Ah, okay, but then we get a dependency from the local storage, right? Okay. Create a use context for a div box 300 by 300 when light mode, color, dark mode, green. Um, use local storage as well. Okay. It's very bad description, but okay. Let's do some reading. Wait. So here it doesn't provide a context, but you have to do null, right? You have to do something, else it gives an error. Let me read that. Let's go here. Let's go back all the way to the top. Yeah, an argument is expected. So, but maybe ChatGPT has another plan for me. Team provider contains a team. Use state, which is a function. But wow, okay. What the hell? Return return local storage. Get item. Okay, wow. What the fuck is this? Instead of no, you can first get the value from local storage and then create context on the right value on the first app initialization. Yeah. Okay. That's what you already said. Okay, next. So you do a function and you just get item team, which is usually dark, but no, why I'm saying that? Team or light. But if eh, this is one argument, right? Give me a second. It's an or. What's going on here? Oh, okay. HOC. Ah, okay, I understand. Use effect. Team dependency with team. This team comes from there, and this team comes from here. So it's either light or team for this one, and else it's team, and team is this one with this dependency. Toggle team, okay, this is the button, and then team provider is value team toggle team. Well, they make it more difficult than it should. Well, more clean, I should say. um, Toggle team. So okay, so you're passing this on as well. So you can use this anywhere where you use the text provider. Okay. Um, okay. Are you using team provider? Okay. And you're using use team. Okay. Team box is team toggle team is use team. So you do structure. Return. Team to bro, what is ChatGPT doing? Why are you invoking? Oh, okay. Invoking because of the two uppercase function. What is mode here? What the hell? This is not how I would do it. HOC is a concept, right? In JavaScript. I forgot what it was. HOC JavaScript. Let me see. Oh, higher order components. Okay. Oh, in React. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Higher order components are components that return one thing, right? The answer is always the same, or is that first order component? Let me see what it says. Oh, okay. No, HOC is like inheritance. So you have like a function, right? Like maybe a first order function, or I'm not sure if you can do pure function, and then you extend the function. That's what it said here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. I haven't touched that concept in a while. Probably used it, but I don't think about the concept in per se. Okay. See. Okay. This is HOC then. See. Team top of T. Team. Okay. Oh, this is HOC when you do structure. Okay. Sure. But then this would also be HOC. No, the team provider is. Because of this? Team provider? I'm getting all the concepts wrong. This is first order component to me, and this then is a high order component. And a component, I'm saying components. Wait a minute. Ugh, God damn it, bro. It's tired. I'm tired for concepts right now. Let me continue. I don't like this way of toggling team to uppercase. What? Oh, okay. It's just a word mode. Toggle team, and then you return the export default app.js. Jesus Christ. The steps you need to take just to do a toggle. This is what hurts me. This part. But I just want to say that I didn't do too bad though. No, don't worry about it, Andre. It's late, you know. Like I'm gonna sleep on it, and probably in a week or two, I'll just make this in my dreams or something. Don't worry about it. And I'm repeating every concept. You know, I've heard a lot of concepts, but when you make a lot of front end projects, you don't necessarily use that. And I never use team contacts, so. But yeah, sure, great. And we did a lot of stuff there. Okay, let me we did the context, use reducer. So let's check that out. Never use reducer in my life. So what is this? Components with many state objects spread across many event handlers and get overwhelming. For these cases, you consolidate all the state object logic outside your component in a single function called a reducer. You will learn what a reducer function is, how to refactor use state to use reducer, when to use reducer, how to write one. Yeah, I created too much code and missed the idea. Yeah, you're right. But that's why I need to go back, right? We made a plan here, and I wouldn't say the plans were bad executed. This one was well executed. I think this one was well executed, and a local storage was well executed, but these two needed way more code. So, okay. So use reducer is used when use states uh, becomes overwhelming with the event handlers. Okay. As your component grows complexity, it can okay, but um, so that this is why things exist like Redux and those kinds of stuff, right? So you don't get like use state hell or something. So on top of reducer, you have the global state managements, and maybe it goes hand in hand. I'm not sure. We'll see. The plan was okay. You need 1 or 2 level. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. As your component grows in complexity, it can get harder to see at a glance all the different ways in which the component creates get updated. For example, the task app component below holds an array of tasks in state and uses 3 different event holders to add, remove, and edit. Let me see. Okay. I'm just gonna scroll a bit. Let me see. Okay. Use state from React, add task, task list, contact list, with a task, and at a function, we repeat the array, we get a next ID, we get a text, and we get done. Okay, but this is very verbose, but let's continue. And we also set task here inside the function. Oh, I see where we're going here. Yeah, I see where we're going here. So basically, what we're doing is we're using tag set task a lot, and that becomes very confusing, and it might um, get into trouble. But let's see. Set task as a map. Is test ID is task ID. Return else return T. Okay. Task ID. Okay. You're filtering if the ID is not task ID. Great. Then you're gonna remove that. Okay. A return add task. On task add handle task. Let me see. That's it. Handle add task. Okay. But you use it. Um. Wait a minute. Where does this coming from again? We don't know. It comes from here. Okay, but I don't see the code though. Okay, no worries. Task list, I also need the code. Okay, task is equals to task. Okay, on change task, handle task, delete task. Okay, okay. Works fine by me. Okay. Each of the event handlers is called set task in order to update the states. As the component grows, so does the amount of state logic sprinkled through it. Okay, so basically what it's saying is that um, Okay, remove, delete. Okay. So basically what it's saying, I'm trying to learn the concept, right? Okay, have fun. I'll go rest. Thank you, bro. Thank you for coming by. Appreciate it. So we have these ones. Wait, we have these ones, and we have like some components, right? And we track them back here, and we use the use state. Then you're also linking to them, so you get a lot of linking here, and that's the problem. And you want to reduce. Okay, reduce this. Awesome. Move the setting state to dispatching actions. Your event early. Okay. Each of event is called a set task in order to update the status. Component grows so there's a nice finger to it to reduce complexity and keep all your logging easy as display. You can move the state locker into a single function aside as your component called a reducer. Reducers are a different way to handle state. You can migrate your state to use reducer in two steps. Move from the setting state to dispatching actions. Write a reducer function, use the reducer from your component. So step one, use these ones. Remove all the state setting logic. What you have left is are three event handlers. I all call them dispatch, type, edit, ID, next, text, wait, handle as. I don't know what's going on here. Let me read. Manage a state which reduces slightly different from directory set what to do. Setting state you specify what the user just did. Oh, just did. Okay. Let's read. Okay. The object you pass the dispatch, it's called an action. Okay, so this is an action. This is an action. Okay. It's a regular JavaScript object. You decide what to put in, but generally it should contain the minimal information of what happened. You will add the dispatch function later. It can have any shape. Okay. Write the reducer function. Okay. State action. Good. Task reducer. Task action. If action type is dedicated added, return task. Okay, so you're gonna combine that. Okay. Because the reducer function takes state task as an argument, you declare it outside of your component. This increases the indentation level and makes your code easier to read. The code above uses if-else statement, a convention to use switch statement inside reducers. The result is the same, making it easier to read. So where's the switch statement actually then? Oh, okay, I see. Okay. Switch, if the case is added, if the case is changed, if the case is deleted, in default. Okay. Awesome. Okay. There's a lot of reading. Okay. Use the reusers for a component. First you need to hook up task reducer for a component. Import the user reducer for in React. Okay, then you can replace use state to task dispatch instead of that, with task reducer, initial task. What is the initial task? Okay, that comes with the keyword here. Okay. So what you're doing is you are extracting the logic somewhere else. Okay, that is a good way of doing that. Yeah, you can move the reducer all the way here, and then you have like more kind of cleaner code. Okay, task, tasks, use reducer, task reducer, initial tasks. Okay, this is the text, and it says done. We don't have done. We have ID, which is equal to task ID. Okay, that's pretty complex to be honest. Would I ever do this? It's a matter of preference. Yeah, producer must be pure. Okay, awesome. Oh, you can use immer reducer, and then you can even write it cleaner. Oh, you can even mutate. Well, you don't want to do that because we don't mutate in React. So, but I get why you would do that. Like if you're comfortable with that, right? Okay, that's pretty clear. I think we read a lot. So that's this is the fourth 2025. Okay, so we need to find some kind of question for both. The attempt date is gonna be on the 10th. It's not important right now. So what I need to look for tomorrow is, I think we did well with this one, by the way. Yeah, I think we did pretty well. Yeah, so we need to focus on this one, and we also need to focus a bit on the JavaScript, but it's good. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty much done with it for now. We did a lot of stuff, so yeah, I'm pretty happy about the result. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it on here. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Anaxa. Thank you, M Creation. Thank you, Subham. Thank you, IQ616. Thank you, Ayush. Did I forget anyone? Doesn't look like it. Thank you so much for coming by. I will see you until next time. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment if you want to see me make 6 7 years, and I will see you.